So we are just killing time. Killing time in Georgetown. Hey Peter, how's it going, mate? You are on the Potomac River with me here in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., live on haps.tv and a couple other platforms, I think. Ducks. A couple of kayakers. Hello, Marianne. It caught me live. We just decided to do a live broadcast. Well, my kids are at a movie. The kids are at a film in the theater. That's a big change. And I didn't want to see the movie, so I decided I'd just go for a walk. The grotto by the Supreme Court. That's a bit of a miles from here. That's the Kennedy Center and the Watergate Hotel off in the distance there. 2 nights ago, White House lights, emergency vehicles. No, it's just what goes on there. Nothing out of the ordinary that I heard of the other night. No, I would go see No Time to Die. My kids are seeing Venom. An interesting stutter in the picture. My kids went to see Venom, and I didn't feel like seeing Venom. And so, like, this is an old warehouse, and you can see the factory, this old factory and warehouse and the foundry, and that's where the movie theater is. It's in the basement of that place. Hello. So we're going to walk down to the boardwalk along the Georgetown Harbor. Marine One will be flying tonight about 6:30, but I will not be here. I'm going to Philadelphia for the weekend. But there will be a Marine One flight. He's going to Wilmington and probably come back Monday, I guess, because it's the holiday. The place that you're probably referring to, SB, is called the South Court Auditorium. It's a pretty big auditorium, and it's in the old executive office building. I've never been in there, but I know they do a lot of press things there because it's bigger than the press room. It's bigger than the East Room. It's kind of warm. It's about 70 degrees, 71. I mean, I'm in a short sleeve shirt. There's not much going on today. I wouldn't know a statue of Moloch from a statue of, I don't know, a penguin or something. It is warm. There is this statue. It's pretty cool. Let me show you this thing. It's a jet. Hey, Austin. This is a face. Can you see the face? So this is a water taxi's come over here. Oh, down we go. No pit beef today. I'd like pit beef, but it's a bit far away from DC. Best pit beef is in Baltimore. You know what, though? I'm actually going through Baltimore later today on the way to Philadelphia. Maybe I could get a pit beef in Baltimore. Dumberton. I know where Dumberton is. You want to see that? What in full bloom? What block of Dumberton? What unit block? We can go by your house. Dumberton and what? So these are the flood walls that pop up. You see these big columns here? They actually have giant metal things that pop up when the river is going to flood. By the way, I'm on haps.tv, Twitter, and YouTube, and Twitch today. So you can follow me on many different platforms. Let's go check out the fountain. Will I live? I don't know if I'm going to live stream from Philly. I'm not really sure my schedule. My kid has a soccer tournament, so a bit crazy. Yeah. Thinking. I really haven't done much think tank work in a year or two. Deanwood. I'm not sure how far that is from here. It's a different neighborhood. I've only been to Austin's airport. I never really hung out in Austin. Though my niece is moving to Austin soon. The iPhone 13, the camera has a lot of new features, especially the cinematic video mode, which is pretty cool. But that's generally why I buy new iPhones, is because of new camera capabilities. Mummies, dragons. You've not seen a fountain? In the winter, it's an ice skating rink. And guess what? It's going to be winter pretty soon. Decked out for Halloween, aren't they? Hello. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention to you guys, but this building, the Washington Harbor Complex that I've been walking around, this place that I've been walking around, this is Nancy Pelosi's apartment building. So Nancy Pelosi in this building. In fact, that might even be one of her cars. Kind of suburban. So yeah, this is Nancy Pelosi's building. I don't know exactly where she lives. I think she lives on this side. Whoa, stop sign. I guess it doesn't matter if you're driving a gray car. Oh, we're impressed. Compensating. All right, let's go up to the canal, yeah? You know, it might rain. It's kind of gray skies right now. Ugh. So these are the bikes I rent, but I'm not renting one right now. These are the black ones are the electrics. The red ones are the pedal ones. If we go, oh, a connection. Whenever I get poor connection, it'll come out of it though. There we go. Sorry about the connectivity, guys. We went under a giant freeway, which basically works as a Faraday cage. But we're back now. Yeah, we were breaking up because we went under this the freeway, and the freeway is a big thing of steel and concrete, and it really messes with my signal. This is actually a good bakery here. We should be back to normal now. This is called Baked and Wired. And they've got really good cupcakes and really good croissants. Tempting. Still blurry. We're gonna cross over. Yeah, so this is the Cno Canal. And this canal runs all the way through Georgetown. There's a lock over here. The backpack that people mark. Yes, I actually had one. It's called Live U, L-I-V-E-U. And I had what was called the Live U Solo. I bought it, but I ended up returning it. The reason is it costs about $300 a month for the basic level of service. $300 US a month. And I looked at my revenue streams from Live, and I just couldn't justify like $300 a month for that device. Now the ones that the TV crews use, those suckers, they cost, geez, they cost like 16,000 US, and they cost a whole bunch more per month. You can rent canoes on the canal up at the Fletcher's Boathouse, which is up about 3 miles from here. And you paddle around there. So Live U Solo, and they have a new Live U coming out soon, but I'm holding off buying that. I like cupcakes too. So we're here on Emma's and Mary Street. This is the heart of Georgetown. This is the Amazon store. Amazon has a brick and mortar bookstore here. We could get a burger. To any of the former presidents. Well, John F. Kennedy's house is up the street here. None of the living former presidents currently lives in Georgetown, but plenty of people lived here prior to being president. So Kennedy's house, I show you a lot. It's about 3 or 4 blocks from here. Let's just keep going this way. I'm not sure what I'm going to eat today. There used to be, Lee, the mall that you're referring to is called Georgetown Park, and they actually did away with it. And they turned it into apartments. It just wasn't making a living as a shopping mall, so they redesigned it as condos, basically. DC law requires you to wear a mask indoors. And a lot of people duck out, duck back in, and stuff like that. So a lot of people, it's just easier to leave it on. But most people are not outdoors. But like waiters and stuff, they have to wear it. Yeah, there's a few nice cars. I mean, not like Hong Kong nice cars, but nice cars. Hong Kong had massive flooding today. And basically a typhoon blew through Hong Kong today, and standing water was mental. There's a fire truck. There's a battalion chief, Chief 5. What are you doing here? Turn on your lights. Buying cigarettes. They don't have Korean tacos in Georgetown. The problem with the streaming is you need LTE connections and stuff, and you need multiple LTE connections. So like I would have like 3 or 4 different LTE devices connecting to make the live view work, which was just so, and they had to be like, they needed, well, it was best if they were different companies. So I had T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. 3 different accounts, yeah? So it got a bit expensive, yeah? If we had real LTE like we had in Asia, like real 5G, then it would be cool, but everything here is just so limited. Okay, there's a Diplomat Suburban. Kinda hungry. I don't know what to eat. Let's go up this way. I don't walk as much as I used to, simply because I just don't have time. I used to walk between 10 and 20 miles a day. When I lived in Hong Kong, a bad day in Hong Kong was 10 miles. Now it's between 5 and 10 miles a day, but some days it's even less because I end up on a bike or a scooter. There's a place down the street called 90-Second Pizza. A lot of people like that. It depends. I mean, are you talking like best cheap pizza or best like fancy gourmet pizza? I think a lot of people around here like Two Amy's Pizza, which is up the street. It's actually in the Cathedral neighborhood, not Georgetown. This area is the headquarters of WASP. This is old money Washington, D.C. Congressmen, senators, lobbyists, media barons, old family money on the Mid-Atlantic region. That's the Georgetown reputation. And the food is basically WASP food. A lot of French places though. For example, that's Martin's Tavern over there. And that's where John F. Kennedy proposed to Jacqueline Kennedy. So there's actually a booth in there called the Kennedy booth that you can actually request. And that's where they got started. Now, I think this is Prospect Street. A Jollibee in Chicago is sweet. There's a Jollibee in the DC area, the Filipino fried chicken place. Antique store. Chocolate place. Chocolates. La Verdique. So lots and lots of French restaurants. In fact, from here up, there's probably a dozen French places. There's like a patisserie, there's bakeries, there's candy, there's like all sorts of French places. Lobbyists are very wealthy. I'm minimum 10,000 steps. Hong Kong, my average was 25,000 steps. Here I'm averaging about 15 to 16,000 steps. And my best day I hit 40,000 steps a couple days. That was hard. So guys, somebody was asking, they wanted to see Dumberton Street. Well, guess what? I brought you to Dumberton Street. So this is Dumberton Street. And I can't remember what intersection they wanted. But we'll just walk you down Dumberton Street so you can see the back streets of Georgetown. There's a few places that have crepes, but there's nobody who really specializes in crepes. There's a couple other fancy places. There's a macaroon place. That's a Laudry or whatever, which used to be in which is in Paris. This is the Methodist Church. Interesting, a lot of this area back in the 1940s was predominantly a black African American area. Somebody here lived. Hey Pablo, how's it going? Somebody in the chat said they lived on Dumberton, so we're walking down Dumberton so they can see their old house. But we don't know the cross street, so we're not sure exactly which house is theirs. They're making crepes, cool. I made poffertjes, which is a Dutch pancake, mini pancakes. Comet Ping Pong is way up at the border of Maryland. It's pretty far away. In fact, it's another half mile and it would be in Maryland. It's kind of pricey. My kids have eaten there a couple times, but they're like, it's okay. World of Warships. Okay, that's a Twitch thing. Yeah, we should probably change that. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know why. I don't even play World of Warships that much anymore. I think Britt Hume of Fox News used to live in this apartment, but he's moved, I think. George Will lives down there. Mustang Medic, I think most of you know Mustang Medic has COVID, and it's taken quite a toll on him. He's been bedridden for about a month. I spoke to him once, and I could just hear him gasping for air. I have checked on him. I call him. I text him about every couple days, but he doesn't reply that often. He's just really, really tired. So I just crossed 31st. So I'm at 31st and Dumberton. And now we're going down to 30th and Dumbarton. So I'll give you a street number. I'm at 3038 Dumberton Northwest. Probably 20007, I think is the zip code. Yeah, I went over to his apartment building, or at least I think it's the building he lives in, and I had the management conduct a welfare check because nobody had heard from him in a couple weeks. And then later that night is when he posted an update on his Telegram. So I guess they did conduct a welfare check to see if he was okay. You know, today's not much of an adventure. Actually, though, Ben Bradley used to live about a block to my right, the publisher of the Washington Post. And Julia Child's first house in Washington, D.C. is down the end of the street, if you guys want to see that. Oh, I'll show you this. I've shown you guys these before. These are kind of cool. But you see that little marker there? That is a fire insurance marker, all right? Back in the days before there was a government fire department, there were private insurance companies had different fire departments. And so if you were insured by, you know, Fireman's Fund Insurance, you would put that marker outside your house, and then the fire department would know which house to come to. It's like, and if you didn't have that marker, then they wouldn't put out the fire. So you weren't current on your insurance. So if you look around, a lot of the old houses in Georgetown have these old private fire department insurance thing. Mustang Medic is another YouTuber from Washington, D.C. area, but he's been offline for about a month. By the way, I'm streaming on haps.tv today. That's a live streaming app that lets me stream to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Haps itself. It's a pretty cool app. It actually pays you to stream. So if you like to stream, you might want to check it out. All right, so whoever lived on Dumbarton Street, I hope we showed your house. There's the corner market over there. I could really go for like something. What should we eat? So we're at 29th and Dumbarton now. Signal is getting weak again. Ugh. I miss Hong Kong's signals. In Hong Kong, because there's so many people and so many tall buildings, you've never had a problem really with Wi-Fi or LTE. Here we go, there's another fireman's plaque. See that? That's the fireman plaque. FIC, Fire Department. Yeah, and a lot of the houses have those. You have a fire market, it's lead? Wow. Well, you can put that on eBay, I'm sure it's worth something. Two Marines, they must be lifting a lot of heavy weight. They must have a lot of stuff going on. I've seen two Marines when they're doing like practicing, or when they're doing, of course, a, what should we call it, shift change. There's been two Marines. There are 4 Marines. It's very expensive to live here. There are 4 Marine sentries at any one time in the White House. So they're assigned places kind of all over. Yeah, MPDC in Georgetown. So probably had to deal with a lot of drunks. Okay, we're almost to the end of this street. Just don't lick it if it's lead, yeah? That could be dangerous. It's very expensive to live here. Like, let me see if I can find a house that has a price. I can give you an estimated price. You guys have that Zillow app, right? ZILLOW, the Zillow home app. I'd guess that this place right here is probably like $1.5 million. 1.2 to 1 million, 1.5 for that. And then like these little places here, which are probably only like a 2-bedroom, 1,000 square feet, maybe 1,200, they're probably $1 million. So like those 3 little houses, I'd estimate those are $1 million each. And then these big corner suckers, the big ones on the corner, they can go up into the multi-millions. Let's go down this way, yeah. Yeah, big money. That's the thing, when you live here in DC, you're always like, oh, I'll go there another time. I'll go there next week. I'll do that. And then you're suddenly out and you're like, oh, I missed all this. Kind of weird. So this is a little park connected to Rock Creek Drive is down there. Rock Creek Parkway is down to the side of that. That's the west end of town down there. A lot of offices and whatnot. And the White House, I'm at 27th Street, and the White House is basically at 16th Street. So as a crow flies, the White House is about 10 blocks away. It's about a mile or so. Of course, there's like 10 stoplights between here and there. Ooh, this dog wants the stick. Dog wants the stick. I used to have a Linux company, the mascot of which is a penguin, and I was reading Rainbow Six by Tom Clancy, ergo Penguin 6. So facto. There is a cemetery, but it's way up, it's up the hill. So there's a cemetery way up that way, and I'm not in the mood to go up there. And actually, I did check. I checked about 2 months ago, and it was only, it was not open to the public unless you had a loved one interned there. Because I wanted to go there and show you that. And then like Teddy Roosevelt's first daughter is there at Georgetown Cemetery as well. Have I rode all the way up Rock Creek? Well, yes and no. I've been all the way up Rock Creek in DC, but technically Rock Creek continues into Maryland, and I haven't explored all the way up to, say, Rockville, which could go on for a while. But I've been pretty much around all the paths in DC. It's a huge place. I mean, it's got a golf course inside it. It's a mental place. Yeah, leasehold is kind of a pain, isn't it? They don't have much leasehold in America. They do in Baltimore for some reason. Baltimore has a lot of leasehold. But most stuff in American is freehold. Yeah, Ubuntu 6, that would be a little bit weird. So this yellow house just got renovated. And this yellow house was the first house of a young woman working as a typist for a new government agency. That agency was known as the OSS. And that woman was sent over to China, where one of her missions was to come up with a concoction that would repel sharks. So she got into the kitchen and she built this concoction to repel sharks. Because apparently the sharks were like interfering with mines and stuff. The woman met a guy named Child. They got married. She went to France. She fell in love with cooking. Her name, Julia Child. And that was Julia Child's first house in Washington, D.C., that yellow house right there. I'm not sure how much Halloween will be set up, but maybe we will. So Julia Child, for those who don't know, used to be a spy before becoming a world-famous chef or cook. The hood's on the other side of town. It's a bit of a hike from here. I was a half a mile away. How would there be shadows? It was actually kind of gray yesterday anyway. I only saw one photo from the other side. That was from the AFP's photographer. Hey Peter, how's it going, man? Guys, if you're into HAPS, if you want to explore, you should get in touch with Peter. He's in the chat now. He's one of the HAPS community guys. There's a falafel place down here that has good French fries. State of Qatar Defense Attaché. This used to be the Embassy of Malaysia or something. Now it's the Qatari Defense Ministry or something. There's a funny David Letterman with Julia Child. And they had what was his name? Art Donovan, the former lineman for the Baltimore Colts. And David Letterman and Donovan were like slugging down the cooking sherry with Julia Child. And then Art Donovan looked over at her and he says like, hey, you know what? You're a really attractive woman, as he was drinking all this cooking sherry. That's the Four Seasons Georgetown. It's a very posh hotel. Yeah, Julia Child was a spy. And she lived here in Georgetown. Community guy. He like works with the broadcasters and like tries to help them get more viewers and deals with technical problems and stuff. If you want to start live streaming. Whew. Doesn't Susan Rice have a kid? Oh, no, the other Rice. I always get the two Rices confused. Well, it's complicated. I've been in DC since the last days of the Reagan administration, with long extended stints overseas, like 10 years in Hong Kong, a few years in law school, etc. So basically, I've been on and off in DC since the late 1980s. But I just came back from Hong Kong about 3 years ago. Okay, we can go this way. I'm still kind of hungry. I don't know what to eat. So the White House is down there, that way, about 10 blocks. We're at 29th and M now. Let's go back to, you know what, let's hike the canal. Let's hike on the canal for a couple of blocks. And then maybe we'll come up and get a burger or something. Lombardi, is that a hotel or apartment building? I've heard the name. Maybe I'm thinking Vince Lombardi, different spelling. This is a cheese sandwich place, I think. This is like all cheese. I'm not a big cheese guy. Pizza's good with cheese. Julia Child wanted to fly planes. She wanted to be one of those female pilots who would ferry aircraft from the factory to the front lines. But she was too tall. She was just too tall, so she got a job with basically the CIA. Lombardi Hotel on M. Okay, I'm not sure which one it is now. So you guys know the steam pipes down at the White House? I show you those steam vents all the time. This is the auxiliary steam pumping facility that was run by the GSA, the Government Services Administration. It's empty now. They're going to turn that into condos, but the steam used to be generated here and dispatched over across downtown DC through the steam tunnels. But that one is now empty, and they just used the main one in Southwest. Yeah, actually, it's funny, they're filming White House Plumbers, and yesterday Woody Harrelson got in a bar fight at the Watergate Hotel. Apparently some guy tried to attack Woody Harrelson, and Woody Harrelson punched him in the face. So, yeah, Baked and Wired is right up here somewhere. So yeah, Woody Harrelson is still around, getting in bar fights, and I didn't see much filming at the end of the week, but they might have been internal filming inside some soundstage or something. So we're on the Cno Canal. We're going to stay here for a couple blocks. Oh, good luck with that fight. And virtually explore Georgetown. Well, you might want to check out the HAPS app, because there's a lot of people who do these travel kind of hikes on HAPS. Just to take you around different parts of the world live. Let's go to the bar and get in a fight. Chuck, we don't know for sure, but I'm thinking in November. Sorry I have to tell, it's kind of loud here. Ah, shoot. Signal went to crap again. So the Cno Canal was supposed to be bulldozed and turned into a parkway. But Supreme Court Justice Douglas actually led the fight to historically preserve this as the old canal and stop the road from being built. That's John, that's a hard question. I mean, where am I from? I grew up in Illinois, if that helps, but I've lived probably, I don't know, 20 of the last 30 years in Washington, D.C. and 10 years overseas or longer. So, kind of complicated. I don't know where my home is now. Yes, the locks do still work. They do work. In fact, they take this canal boat, which is mostly for tourists, but they run this tourist canal boat through the locks. Just one or two of the locks. I think there's something like 15 locks. This is supposed to be a good sushi place. So if you ever watched the movie St. Elmo's Fire, they filmed a scene right here. Ali Sheedy was walking along the canal talking to her friend about love and life and all that. And that was filmed right in this section of the canal. Good reflection right now. This is the same canal, Mark. I just came on a different cross street. We did one gigantic loop and then came back around. This time though, we're going to walk a little bit farther on the canal because I got tired of walking on the street. Well, Chuck, in fact, we're going to do a movie scene right up here. No Way Out with Kevin Costner was filmed along this canal. There's a scene where Kevin Costner is being chased by a Pentagon assassination team, and he ducks into, quote, the Georgetown metro station. And then he slides down onto a train, and it actually is the Baltimore subway when he gets there. But they filmed that scene right here on this canal. Helicopter traffic heading down the Potomac. We might see it from here, probably not, it's probably too low. Yeah, too low. The reflections are amazing, aren't they? It's not cold at all. In fact, I'm actually getting kind of warm right now. It's 70, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about, what, 23, 24 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, it's pretty a little bit humid. It's a bit humid right now. So that's actually being shored up. The walls being rebuilt. So if you watch No Way Out, you'll see him running up these stairs and then getting on the subway that doesn't actually exist. $5 inches of beer every night. Do they dredge the canal? You know, they need to dredge this canal because this canal has been without water for about 2 years, and a lot of stuff grew in there. I mean, they don't dredge it for depth, but they need to get rid of all the weeds and stuff that have grown. Yes, I love you. This is an old warehouse. What do you guys think? Should we get a hamburger? It's really not that deep, Dan. I mean, you wouldn't like, I don't know, shoulder deep maybe? Your shoulders or so? I bet the tidal basin would be more interested for magnet fishing because there's so many more tourists there. I mean, honestly, you'd get some phones and cameras if you went to the tidal basin with a magnet. Though this technically is a national park, so I'm not sure what the rules are. Yeah, it's a national park. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of those hot dogs too. There's a burger joint up on my right. We could go there. My favorite burger joint isn't open right now. 17 in Ireland. Wow. That's kind of, is that kind of, it's warm? I haven't been to Ireland in about 10 years. In fact, the last time I was in Ireland was for 4 hours. I don't think there's any, there might be some fish. So I was in London, and British Air said, you need one more flight to qualify for premier status for the entire year. And I'm like, where's the shortest and quickest flight that would qualify? They're like, Dublin. I'm like, fine, I'll go to Dublin. So I flew to Dublin solely for the purpose of flying to Dublin. I got out, went downtown, went to a pub, had a sandwich, and then came back. That was my last time in Ireland.
But the thing with Billy.
It was kind of funny. But I got my flight status, which meant more upgrades, access to the lounge, and all the other things that go with flight status that were important in the old times when we had international travel. Yeah, basically 4 hours. And in fact, this funny thing is it was a horribly windy day. And we had to go around 3 times at Dublin. And he lined up, he says, this is gonna be our last attempt because the winds were so bad. He said, ladies and gentlemen, if we can't make this, we're gonna fly back to London. I'm like, okay. So then we land, and I look out the windows and there's fire trucks on the runway. They didn't think we were gonna make it. I was like, geez. The Smithsonian, TV memorabilia. That section of the Smithsonian is being renovated right now, most of it. But we will go to the Vietnam Wall. We haven't been to the wall in about a month, so we can go back down there. What time is it? I'm gonna pick up my kid for another hour. What should we do? Georgetown Cupcake is right down there. The pub is right over here, but the pub was right over here. Oh, where all the outdoor tables are down here. Let's see if there's any outdoor tables. So they added, so what they did is they took away one lane of the road and turned it into an expanded sidewalk, mainly for social distancing, but also for dining outdoors. We can go to Clyde's. Let's see. Oh, it's crowded. I don't think we can eat here. Bummer. I don't want to go indoors. Have I seen Lincoln's hat? No, I don't know. I haven't been to that. There's a couple different Lincoln things. I've seen the bullet that killed Lincoln. That's at the. This is all packed. I can't eat here. At the National Medical Museum, they have the actual bullet that killed Abraham Lincoln, which is pretty freaky. And I think they have. I can't remember if they have his brain there too. Rent is expensive. Well, I mean, relatively speaking, eating out is expensive here, more so than say, I don't know, Central Illinois where my dad lives. But rent is expensive, but not as expensive as say Hong Kong. So I don't really notice it that much. You're right, it has picked up a bit. But part of it is that we're down here in Georgetown, and all the students have come back. So basically, there's been an influx of 10 to 12,000 kids who want to go out and hang out and party and all that. So the Smithsonian, we can go try to find it one day. How much money I have? Let's see what we got here. So these guys are collecting food money. You guys keep giving me money, and I don't want to keep buying these guys junk. So so some of you guys have been donating money to me in my live streams, and I don't want it. So let's. Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Have a nice day.
Yep. So thank you very much. That's my most recent donations from you guys. It's about $60. That is a food mission, and they're going to feed them actually nutritious food instead of the crap I buy people. So I appreciate your donations, but like I said, I don't need their money, so I just kind of spend it on the homeless. Let's go get a burger. There's a burger joint down here I've never been to. There used to be a good Irish pub there. There's a French bakery there that everybody goes nuts about.
Yeah.
I should get this. That might be really stuff.
There is a postage stamp museum. In the American History Museum, they have a small section on coins and currency. And then there's a Bureau of Printing and Engraving that has some displays of some old currency. And of course, you can see the new currency being made, though it's whatchamacallit, it's closed right now due to COVID. We got all kinds. We're in Georgetown, Alia. This is a very trendy part, a formerly trendy part of DC, very expensive. What do you guys think? Should I get a pizza, Italian place, or a burger? No Burger King. There's no fast food here, man. Kind of blows. Especially for a guy like me who loves fast food. I wonder if they're open. I think they're open. I can go to Thunder Burger. We can just people watch. Let's go in here, yeah. Hi. Just one. Can I outside? Yeah. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Whoa.
How was your day? Good?
Yeah, it's hot. All right, guys, we're going to get a burger. Here we go. Let's get to the big stuff. Burgers. How you doing, man? Can I have a Diet Coke? Kobe beef burger, grilled smoked burger, and what else should we eat? Well, if I don't.
Sir.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing this morning?
Just hanging around.
I get that. What can I get for you today?
You know, I just want a burger,
All right.
a plain burger. You know, like nothing on it.
Okay, so I'll get you the regular Thunder Burger then.
Yeah, that's fine. Fries and a salad or something,
All right.
like a mixed green salad with
How do you want
vinaigrette.
the burger cooked?
Medium. Fine.
Medium?
Yeah, medium well done.
No cheese on it or
No
anything?
cheese, no nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, ketchup.
Side of fries
Yeah.
and a side of a mixed green as well, right?
Yeah, that's cool. With a vinaigrette or something like that.
Okay. All right. Anything else for you?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Great.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. So that house over there, that's the old stone house, and that's one of the oldest houses in Washington, D.C. That dates back to the 18th century. Yeah, no, I'm not a really complicated guy, you know. It's just like, burger is a burger, you know. That's why I really don't even look at the menu. I'm just like, just give me a burger. You know? It's like, you can name it whatever you want, but it's not that fancy. Yeah, you're here on the streets of Georgetown, Washington, D.C. with me as we eat a burger. We're in front of the Amazon bookstore, actually. The address, 3058 M Street, 3058 M Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C. I don't know what kind of fries they were. Are they crispy, you think? I just want fries. You guys want to just people watch? We'll just people watch as people go down the street. You know, Jim, there's no real good fish and chips here. There used to be some good fish and chips at the Irish pub, but the Irish pub closed. And I've been spoiled by having New Zealand, Australian style fish and chips. MacArthur Boulevard by the reservoir. That's, you know, we biked up there a couple weeks ago, but we might be able to go. Bonjour, bonsoir. I don't know what time it is. What time is it in France? It's almost bonsoir, yeah? Ça va? haven't been to France in a while. So we were there at the Euro 2016 in Paris and in Saint-Tropez. That was a funny story. So we're Shake Shack is good. I do eat too many hot dogs lately. Oh, it's a big dog. So we were in Amsterdam with the kids, and we were out hiking around Amsterdam, and I ended up on the one street in Amsterdam you shouldn't be with your kids. Yeah, you know that street. And my kids are like, "Dad, why are there so many people in bikinis in the windows?" And I'm like, "It's a swimsuit store." And then they're like, "Dad, why are all those men dressed as Smurfs trying to buy a bikini?" And I'm like, "It's a party. Don't worry about it. I'm not a food snob." So then we go to Saint-Tropez, and we're having lunch on the beach. And I didn't know, but it was a topless beach, yeah? Because I had my back to the beach, and the kids were facing the beach. And their mother called on the phone, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And then my kids are like, "We're at the beach looking at boobies." I'm just like, "What?" My wife is just like, "What are you doing with the kids?" I'm like, "I don't know." And I had to turn around, and then I was like, "Oh, I see." There was this, like, must have been like this Russian fashion model, topless. But she was next to this, I don't know, she was next to this guy, and I think it was a guy, because he had bigger boobs than she did. Or moobs, or whatever they call them. Yeah, the Smurfs, that was a bachelor party, dressed as Smurfs on Amsterdam's red light district. That was a bit weird. Yeah, cold hot dogs are awful.
I took my feet off.
Yeah, end up doing weird things. Whoops, we gotta end our workout. So the next store down is the Nike store. That's a Nike flagship store. The one on the right is Amazon, and then down the next one is Nike. Hey, Marianne. I think there's a gas leak around here somewhere, because there's like a bunch of gas trucks everywhere. Thank you. What else you guys want to know? We are live, Unknown Challenger, but we're waiting for our burger. Priorities. Burgers are coming. I don't know where, I think Nikes are made in Thailand now. Because we used to go over to Thailand and get amazing deals on shoes. Have I met celebrities before? Yeah, I mean, movie stars or politicians. I've met President Bush, I've met President Clinton, I've met Dan Quayle, I've met a slew of senators, I met Ted Danson, I met a bunch of generals. Flap, there's a building restriction in DC. Basically, no building can be more than twice the height, twice the width of the road in front of it. SB, I haven't really noticed any food shortages, but you know, I don't really go to the grocery that much. I mean, let me put it this way: there's plenty of chips and candy in my grocery store, so I'm okay. I don't know about the vegetables. Oh, flies! That's a bummer. Yeah, there are some good places on MacArthur Boulevard, but it's just such a hike to get up there. I have to like bike basically. That's the thing, like Comet Pizza. Like a lot of you guys want me to go to Comet Pizza, but it's way out. It's like if I go to Comet Pizza, I don't go anywhere else that day. Wow. I am not very. I can like order a hamburger in a couple different languages and tell people to get stuffed in a couple languages, but that's pretty much it. 34th teaching at Wilson. I like Five Guys. I just haven't been to. I haven't gone to Five Guys in about a month. The filibuster. No feelings at all. Hey, Scotland, how's it going, mate? We were just talking about fish and chips. My favorite fish and chip place in Scotland is in Anstruther, which is in Fife, and they've got this really good fish and chip shop. It's just down from St. Andrews, about 20 minutes or so. Let's see what's on the street now.
I just want to know how, like, I was actually testing
Your Five Guys closed down. Dan, I think that's your fault. You didn't eat there enough.
I put it around, like,
No, maybe they just over. You know, the original Five Guys closed down. I went one day. I wanted to go to the original Five Guys, which is in Arlington, Virginia, and it's gone. It's been closed. And then I went to what was then the second Five Guys ever, and it was closed. So like Five Guys history has been lost. 2-piece fish and chips, $20. Yeah. There is a Haagen-Dazs behind me, yeah. Subway in the building upstairs near Arlington. I've eaten, there's a Jimmy John's at Arlington. I go to that one. I told my son, I said, we're going to go to Philly. He said, there'll be some new stuff to eat. He's like, Dad, is there In-N-Out Burger? And I'm like, well, I don't think there's an In-N-Out Burger in Philly. And he's just like, so why are we so excited? And he's like, okay, I guess your priorities are set. I actually have to go to Philadelphia. Have I ever met Trump before? No, I haven't met him. I did see him once or twice when I worked in Congress and he was still a real estate guy. But a couple of my friends work for him. So they knew him very well, actually. Well, something coming. I hope it's mine. Oh, psych, it's not.
I'm going to take all your small plates.
Potbelly. I was in a Potbelly the other day.
Anything else that you can
I've eaten at one of those two, Flap. I don't know which one. It wasn't Geno's, but it was either that one or there was another one in like West Philadelphia that we had gone to. Because we had a soccer game out by like Valley Forge, and we went to this like ridiculously famous like cheesesteak place. Oh, great! Here we go.
salad.
Yep.
A burger.
Sounds good. Can I get a Diet Coke too when you get a chance?
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. Ooh, here we go, guys. Sushi train. It's burger time, guys. Haps broadcast to Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube all at the same time. Okay, guys, guess what? It's time for me to eat. Which means I would probably have to put this down, but I'll take my first bite so you guys can appreciate it. Oh, this is really good. It is really good. Oh man, it's juicy. This is Thunderburger on M Street, 3058 M Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C., Georgetown. I don't care. Dude, I eat McDonald's now. Okay, guys, guess what? Time to go. thanks a lot everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, but I'm gonna eat now, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll talk to you later.